Yeah.
as well. The Mandalorians are training. You get a view of a lot of the Mandalorians kind of fighting, training, shooting, all that stuff. See all their different kind of mismatched armor that they have. Really, like Bo-Katan, the Armorer, and Mando are the only three that have kind of matching armor in these scenes. It's kind of interesting because, Mando's kind of built his matching armor. And Bo-Katan has kind of, been part of royalty in Mandalore or whatever. So she's got some good armor as well. But the rest of Mandalorians, it's all that mismatched armor, like beat up, like Boba Fett looking armor. One of the guys looks almost like Boba Fett.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I even pointed out to you. I was like, hey, I think that's pretty much Boba Fett's armor right there.
It looks a lot like him. So
I like it. I like to see it all like beat up and.
It's nice, battle scarred.
Yeah, battle scarred.
Paz Vizsla has pretty well matched armor as well. He's, you can kind of tell the ones that have more power, to be honest, because their armor is more matched up, and they've done a lot more.
Been around a bit.
So as they're training, some of the kids that are in the Mandalorian covert here are training and having kind of like little duels where guys like judge them, kind of like a karate show off, like a karate competition where they're doing things. They get to choose their weapons and things like that, and they fight, and somebody scores them, points and things like that. So as Mando sees this, he decides Grogu needs to be involved in it because he's a foundling. He's a Mandalorian foundling. So he takes him over and says he's going to challenge. And I guess there's a question like, why doesn't he have a helmet? Because he can't say the creed yet. Why doesn't he have a helmet yet, even though he's like 55.
And I mean, honestly, what's a helmet gonna look like?
I've seen some mock-ups. It's really funny with the ears sticking out.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Are they just hanging out the bottom?
Yeah. Just push him down.
It's like hair.
He can't hear. So so he takes Grogu over to challenge the one kid that we saw get his helmet in the last episode. We don't know the kid's name, but he's wearing his bluish colored helmet that he was given in the last episode before the gator attacked, or the turtle gator attacked. But him and Grogu have a face-off, and the kid gets to choose what the weapon is, and he chooses darts, which means they got to put on the wrist dart things, and it ends up being paintball, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Like paintball darts, which is like perfect training material. So they put the wristbands on, and Grogu and this kid are having a challenge. Grogu's just kind of standing there. He doesn't really know what to do, and the kid gets 1 point on him, shoots him with a dart pretty quickly. And, Mando's looking at him and is like, you're on your own. You got to do this yourself. And so they go into another round of it, and the kid gets him again. So, Mando pulls him aside and says, hey, I've seen what you can do. You need to do it. You can do it.
Stop holding back.
Stop holding back. So the third round comes up, and the kid goes to shoot at Grogu. Grogu does his little force jump over him, and the kid turns around, and then Grogu force jumps back over him, and then boom, 3 shots, and Grogu wins the match. So, pretty cool. After that, the kid that he beat kind of walks off, and this big like dragon-looking creature comes in and grabs that kid and flies off.
That kid is gonna have an issue with getting close to water.
Animals love this kid.
Yeah, I mean, first the gator turtle.
Yeah. They love this kid.
And now this dragon takes him. It's like, hey, kid, stay away from the water.
Let's stay away from the water, kid. You may not be a friend of the animals. So the dragon grabs him and starts taking him off, and a number of Mandalorians with jetpacks start chasing after, including Paz Vizsla and a couple of other recognizable ones. All their jetpacks run out of gas on the way there.
Which is kind of great to see because, even watching this episode, like, you're like, hold on. This thing can fly forever. Yeah. It's not depending on gas or whatever. And when's these jetpacks could run out? And they do.
They run out of gas. Every one of them runs out of gas, so they lose the dragon. But
there's a lot of practical stuff that happens in this episode.
Yeah. So you see one guy like hard landing for one of them. He comes down and has to roll on the landing. So Bo-Katan gets in her ship and ends up following the dragon to its nest. And
some really, really cool shots with her in that ship. Like the what's the movie with I love the smell of
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse Now. It had that Apocalypse Now shot into the sun, chasing the dragon.
So he chases the dragon.
Yeah. And then the wide shot coming across.
Not chasing that kind of dragon. Although we can't rule it out.
And then the wide shot of her, coming across the desert. There are a lot of really good shots for this TV show. I mean,
right.
They're spending some money on it.
So she ultimately comes back to the covert and tells them that she followed the dragon from a high altitude and found its nest. She shows them where the nest is, and they get together a group that's going to go and take out the dragon, essentially, to rescue this kid, which, in my opinion, he should probably be dead already. But, whatever. It's fun Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, should have been bones.
Yeah. So that's kind of what happens in the opening, and then the credits are after that part. That's kind of the cold open of the episode. So they get a crew together to go after them, and Grogu is left behind with the armor because he's too young. He can't go, and she tells him that he has to stay there, and she takes him into her cave to the forge. She shows him the forge, and she begins forging a piece of armor for him. She tells him that people donate Beskar that they find, and it's for foundlings. And she starts forging armor, and while the armor's forging, he's seeing like sparks and things like that, and he has a flashback. His little PTSD to the flashback of Revenge of the Sith, of course, where all the Jedis are protecting him. 4 Jedis are protecting him against clone troopers. They manage to get him onto an elevator, and they say that get him to Kelleran, or I think is what they say.
Kind of very reminiscent from Obi-Wan too.
Yeah, Obi-Wan did the same thing.
It's very close to
Yeah, it's very, very similar.
And it's amazing how much better they're making those scenes look.
It's retroactive improvement.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. The show is looking really good right now.
Yeah, it certainly is.
And it makes you want to go back and watch Star Wars and enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's great. I mean, seeing more Jedis is always fun, even though the show has done well not to focus on Jedis, but we're seeing more of them here and there in very small doses. And they get Grogu onto an elevator, and he goes down the elevator. The Jedis that were protecting him all die, and one of them drops their lightsaber into the elevator. His elevator goes down, and the elevator doors opens, and it's a black Jedi by the name of Kelleran Beck, who is played by Ahmed Best.
Yeah.
This is Jar Jar Binks.
Yep.
This guy was mistreated severely by terrible Star Wars fans. Not regular Star Wars fans. These were the terrible people that should never be allowed to watch Star Wars anymore with the way they treated Jake Lloyd and Ahmed Best.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Because he got a lot of crap. It pretty much...
he got real close to suicide.
Yeah. It was
if you watch, bad. There's a pretty good bio on him. You can find it anywhere, if you go to YouTube or wherever. And he pretty much tells you life after Star Wars and how close he was to taking his own life. And he takes you to the bridge to where he was thinking about it. And,
Yeah, I haven't seen that, but you've told me about that.
Yeah, all over a stupid movie.
Yeah, because people felt the need to hassle him over this. Yeah, over something he had no control over. He just took a role as an actor.
It's insane,
It's crazy.
Criticism should only go so far.
Yeah, so Filoni and Favreau have brought him back as Kelleran Beck, giving him a little redemption. People have to love this guy. I mean, he's fantastic. You know? This character's fantastic.
And I'm not going to lie, when he first came on, I was like, oh, who? He looks familiar.
I had it spoiled before I watched the episode, so I knew who it was ultimately.
But, I think by the time he dropped him off, I was like, oh my God. And I was watching it with my son. I was like, that's the guy that played Jar Jar Binks. And he was like, oh, I love Jar Jar Binks. He's 11 years old. Yeah, my kid loves Jar Jar Binks. That's one of his favorite parts of Phantom Menace, and a little bit of the second one, which we will not name.
That would shut
but
up
they lean heavily on the second one in these episodes.
Yeah, there's a lot of the
this season. Yeah.
So Kelleran Beck loads Grogu. He has a fight, double lightsaber fight, very cool. Kind of some Ahsoka vibes there with the double lightsaber fighting. He loads Grogu onto a motorcycle, like a speeder, I guess you would call it a motorcycle speeder, and they fly away, being attacked by clone troopers in the clone army ships that you see in that which shall not be named. And he gets to a landing pad where there's men waiting in red armor that have a Nubian ship, a Naboo.
Yeah, you're like, Nubian. Yeah, he did the good voice.
So Kelleran, those guys sacrifice their lives essentially to save Grogu, which tells me Grogu may have some importance here. I don't know what it's going to be, but he's obviously very force powerful.
Yeah, it's Yoda's kid.
Yeah, it's Yoda's son. Yoda and Yaddle.
Mm-hmm.
Grogu. Yeah.
I mean, I think we're all
speculation.
I think we all see that by now. Yeah.
So Grogu's loaded on the plane, Kelleran and Beck, and they fly away, being attacked on the way out, but they both make it out. So Kelleran and Beck made it. So we may see more of him, possibly. He may have died of old age or something.
Do all those, speculations of Jar Jar going to the dark side, being a Sith.
Jar Jar's a Sith.
Is that going to happen? Is he an Inquisitor after this?
That'd be man.
That would be
People
something.
Would lose it
my God!
People would lose it on that.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Yeah. So that's
probably not though. I'm sure it's out there.
Flashback ultimately, and it's a nice scene. I really enjoyed it. It's nice to see Ahmed Best get some Star Wars payback to the people who were assholes to him.
Yeah, a little redemption.
Yeah, it's real nice. So when the flashback ends, we're back into the Armorer's cave. She's made Grogu. She calls it something. I can't remember what she calls it. It's like a chest plate for him. It's like it's small, but it covers basically his whole chest, and it's got the mud horn on it, just like Mando's.
Of course, that's going to come into play later.
Yeah, it's got the mud horn on it, so he's got some chest protection. So if anybody tries to shoot him with a blaster, it's going to reflect it.
Tell you what, that's going to be pretty funny to see if he gets nailed with a blaster and just
flips backwards. It's going to be great. So. I'm just laughing thinking about it, to be honest, 'cause it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
So, after that scene, which that's the end of that scene, it's a nice little scene. He's getting more armor. He has the chainmail, of course, already. He's getting more armor. We jump over to the posse of, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's 8 guys, including Mando, Bo-Katan, and Paz Vizsla, that are going after the dragon to see if they can rescue the boy who was taken. And his name's Ragnar? Or
Ragnar. Yeah.
It's like a Viking name.
Ragnar Lothbrok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Viking name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they go to where the nest is. They land the ship a ways away so the dragon won't know they're coming, because they say if the dragon knows they're coming, the dragon will just kill the kid if he's not already dead. And they go to, like, the dragon perch is like on one of those tall rock things that you would see out in, like, Death Valley or something like that, So they go over there. Paz Vizsla's got his massive chain gun on his back, and they have to climb this. And the armor also said earlier that she was giving them extended, like, hooks, like climbing hooks. So they have to climb. So they camp out for the night there to rest until the next day when they can climb. They get their food that's handed to them, and Bo-Katan's like, "How do you eat with your helmet on?" And this is the first explanation she's got that these guys actually can take off their helmets, just not in the presence of anyone.
She's like, this is kind of crazy, but how does it work?
Yeah. So they
she's
tell her,
buying into it a little bit.
Mando tells her that they just go off and find their own place away from everybody else, and then they can take their helmets off and eat. She gets told, because this is her mission essentially. She can sit by the fire still. She gets the benefit of sitting by the fire because this is her.
This is the way.
This is the way. So she takes her helmet off, and for the first time in a while. So she's been in her helmet for a while. So it's got to be some relief for her. She's not used to that. She was used to being without a helmet. And she eats her food.
That would be so like uncomfortable.
They don't have any family dinners
all the time.
No family dinners, clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Mando kind of lift his helmet to drink.
Yeah.
And do stuff like that, but he hasn't taken it off to do it. But in this, so we flash to the next morning.
I would dye my beard.
Yeah.
Just throw people off.
That's right. Old dye beard.
Yeah, little dye beard.
So we're to the next morning, and they start climbing this tower using their grappling hooks. And I was kind of like, it'd be helpful if these hooks kind of like could pull you up, because they just climb them like a rope. You know? They shoot them up and they attach, and then they climb them like a rope. So clearly there's no motorization behind it.
Even Batman could
hit
a device and pull himself up.
He totally could. He totally could. So you had mentioned that when you guys were watching it, your son Caden was like, "Oh, he's got to regret having that gun on his back," and I thought the same thing.
He's like, "I bet he wish he left that gun on the ground."
Yeah, because that thing's got to weigh 100 pounds on his back. He's a big dude though.
Yeah, he's the first one up though.
Paz Visa makes it, but we do find out when they get up that it is his son. We did not know that it's his son that's been taken, because he kind of jumps the gun when they get up there. They find a heat source in the nest, because they don't see the kid. They see an empty Mandalorian helmet in there. So this bird, they said, has taken a few other people. And as soon as they get up there, they're like, "Oh, there's a heat source over there," and he jumps up and runs. It's like, "It's my son," and runs over there and starts getting in. And all of a sudden, 3 of these small baby bird dragons jump out at him and start jumping at him. And here comes Big Mama Bird.
Just old hairless birds coming out.
Hairless birds. That's what they look like, basically. Mama Bird crests the hill, and she spits up the kid, who's apparently been in her mouth for a while. And the kid starts yelling, "Help me," and whatever.
I guess after Boba Fett could make it out of the Sarlacc pit, I guess that kid could last a little bit.
He didn't have any real Mandalorian armor, though. He just has a helmet.
Yeah, just a helmet. Other armor. Yeah,
but he didn't even look gooey at all.
He was pretty clean. Yeah.
It's a nitpick.
Once again, it's fantasy.
Yeah, it's fantasy. So when he spits the kid, when the dragon spits the kid out, they start firing on the dragon, and the dragon immediately grabs the kid again and flies off. Leaves its babies. I guess it wasn't going to fight for the babies. Like, they're going to have more, whatever. So the dragon immediately flies off, and they go after the dragon again, of course, on their jetpacks. And this time, they have a little more luck catching the dragon and whatnot, and fighting it. And it's funny because we're going to review Reign of Fire. It very much reminded me of the Drop Troopers in Reign of Fire with what they do to take the dragon down.
Exactly.
Shooting things on their wings and things like that. So
stay tuned for that review, because that's going to be fun.
Probably later tonight if we have time.
Yeah.
Even. So, and that's all I could think about. It's like, hey, Reign of Fire.
Yeah.
So they ultimately...
because we were both talking about, this is a terrible strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you do this? But I guess it works.
It works out.
In
all their jetpacks.
In movies.
All their jetpacks are able to catch her this time. Because, she does have 2. Because I think Paz gets caught up in the mouth, right? Because she grabs...
Yeah.
She grabs Paz in her mouth, or one of the Mandalorians in her mouth. I can't remember if it's Paz for sure or not. And they're after her, fighting after her. And Bo-Katan gets knocked into the water. She loses a pauldron, which is important for the end of the episode. She loses a pauldron off her right arm. And but they do manage to take the dragon down and save the kid. I think Mando ultimately ends up saving the kid, right? He dives and catches the kid, I think is what it is. Because, we're watching it, but I'm talking a little bit faster than the scene is going. But yeah, ultimately, the way they take the dragon down is they hit it with netting around its wings, which causes it not to be able to fly. It crashes into the water and immediately gets eaten by one of those alligator turtles that we saw from the first episode.
Little Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Coming to play right there.
I'm not talking about that. I don't like those movies. But yeah, they take the dragon down. They save nobody gets killed or injured in this fight. They ultimately, all the guys make it back, and they save the kid. So good ending there. But how'd you feel about all this?
Yeah, no, I thought, the whole action-packed scenes were, it's done so good for a TV show. It's like
the effects hold up.
The effects are great.
Yeah.
But it had its flaws and stuff, and you just got to look past that and enjoyed every moment of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, I love all the Mandalorian armor, just the different types of Mandalorians involved, and I love this universe.
Yeah, it's good to get more Mandalorians. And
so, which, last episode, I really, really enjoyed last episode because that's more world building.
Yeah.
This one is more episodic.
Yeah, for sure.
And
it's a monster.
It got back to the original formula, but there's more to come with. There's stuff in this episode that is expanding the world as well.
They always put a little bit in to expand the world. And
where they're going with the Mandalorian, I'm pretty excited about. And I hope everybody else is too. I want to see. Give me 10 seasons. No, not that many. But
don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that many.
So
give me 5.
One woman that I really like is Mando saves the kid. Dives after the kid and ends up right beside Paz Vizsla, and you get this moment. It's amazing to me how much they can show with helmets on. How much respect he earned from Paz Vizsla, because him and Paz Vizsla are not friends.
No.
But at this point, Paz Vizsla, I think, has respect for Mando. And they fought.
He saved his kid.
Yeah, he saved his kid, and he's like, so we're good.
Speculation: Paz and the armor bearer. Is that their kid?
We have no indication.
I think so.
We have no indication.
She's just trying to be hardcore and let the husband go after him. Right. So, I mean, there's not too many women.
She is always horny.
She is. She's got 2. So there's not too many women in this group. So where's all these kids coming from?
She got the horns on her. Is she a Zabrak?
Ooh.
I'm just throwing theories out there.
Let's go nuts. Let's get nuts.
That's right. The armor's a Zabrak. You heard it here first. She's Darth Maul's sister.
Oh my God! You know what? That would be amazing. Could be.
He was on Mandalore for a long time.
He was their king.
That's right.
A ruler.
But yeah, so they return back to the Mandalorian covert and land the ship, and they come out. The kid comes out, so everybody knows the mission was successful. All the Mandalorians are coming out, and she Bo goes over to talk to the armorer, and the armorer says, you've done a great deed in Mandalore in saving a foundling. And she's like, oh, and I've also brought you 3 more foundlings, and they pull the baby dragons off the ship, and she's like, you're gonna have to train these guys. And the armorer's looking like, okay.
That was a little goofy, but
it is.
But at the same time,
it's going to set up some Mandalorian dragon riders.
Oh man, yeah. So we're getting
Dance of Dragons.
We're getting Dance of Dragons in Star Wars.
That's right. And so because she saved the foundling, the armorer said she's going to give her a new pauldron because she lost the pauldron. So they go in and they're talking, and Bo's like, hey, instead of the owl, can I put something else on my pauldron? She's like, what else do you want? And she goes, how about the mythosaur? And she goes, the mythosaur belongs to all Mandalorians. So she can put that on. So she makes her one, and as she goes to put it on, Bo reveals that she saw a mythosaur. And the armorer here is like, we all see mythosaurs and things like that. And she's like, no, I really saw a mythosaur in the sacred waters. And the armorer is just like, basically, this is the way. Yeah. And I told you, online people are saying, oh, that's so stupid. She didn't believe her or whatever. She thinks it was a vision or something. I didn't take it that way.
No, I think she's been there. I think she's worked in the mines. I mean, with her trade. Yeah. Working in mines kind of go, side to side. I think she's seen it too. So I think she's like, yep. Duh.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
So that's where the episode ends.
Yeah, enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, it's good. It's the shortest episode of the whole series at 32 minutes.
For season 3, I know it's kind of getting a lot of backlash, I guess.
People are saying it's not going anywhere. I would agree somewhat, but it's not.
I see it differently. I see it's opening up a lot that's gonna incorporate a lot of cool stuff. I think it's gonna we're gonna get more Disney Plus, shows from this. That's gonna all come together. I think they actually have a plan with these TV shows. So even Andor is incorporated in this. So, in a sense, even though that was earlier. Yeah. So I'm loving it. I
liked it. Yeah. I liked it too. I really liked it. I don't know what they're going to do next episode. I don't know where they're going to go from here. I really don't. There's no.
They're probably going to go back to episode 3 and revisit that.
They might.
So,
they could.
With the cloning.
The Mandalorian.
Yeah. The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I love it.
So yeah, that's Mandalorian for this week. We talked almost as long as the episode actually was. Yeah. A little less, I guess.
Hey, we get excited about Star Wars still.
We do get excited about Star Wars.
It's in our blood.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't get crazy about it, but
the Star Wars
we still enjoy talking about it.
We do. So, as for now, that's the end of Helmet Required, the Mandalorian podcast from Basement Movie Room. You can find us at youtube.com/@basementmovieroom, twitch.tv/basementmovieroom, or you can find us on any of your podcast apps, Basement Movie Room. We do a lot of different things. We do, obviously, TV show coverage. We don't know what we're doing after Mandalorian, but we got a good idea that we might do some retro showing.
We do, yeah.
Yeah, so a little bit of retro.
Oh no!
Flip the table over. little bit of action for you guys.
Sorry there.
So we will see you next time on Basement Movie Room. I'm going to just pause this live stream and leave it running for a little bit while we get set up for the movie reviews we're going to do. We got a lot of them to do. We may get through them all. We'll see.
Those beers go right through me.
Yeah. We'll see you next time. What is it? Cheers!
Sorry, man. That really got out of hand.
It was real close. It was real close.
They got that couches in
see if Streamlabs is picking me up. All right. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, so we're back right after our Mando review. We have some movie reviews we need to do. We're going to get through as many as we can get through. We'll see how it goes. But starting off, the first review we're going to do is Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
Yes.
From, what did we decide, 1993 or something like that? I can't remember the exact date. So, Harley Davidson Marlboro Man stars Mickey Rourke, Don Johnson, and Giancarlo Esposito makes an appearance in this as well.
Bit,
Very Giancarlo Esposito. And Big John Studd, Daniel Baldwin, and the late, great Michael Madsen.
No, yeah. Gosh.
Died very recently.
Yeah.
Died basically the day we were watching this movie. He passed away.
Yeah, no kidding. It's been about a week, 2 ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, we watched this a couple weeks ago, so memory may be slightly bad on this. We've got it playing on the screen, but I'm sure I'm going to get through it much quicker than the screen gives me. So we open up in Harley Davidson. Oh no, let's go. What do you think about Harley Davidson and Marlboro Man?
Oh my God, I was so giddy because this was my movie of the week to bring to you.
Oh yeah.
You know, we do picks, we try to watch 2 movies a night on Friday nights.
Yeah.
I'll present one, he'll present one, and I was so giddy to present this one to him, and he was like, "Oh my God, I love this movie." I was like, "I do too. I haven't seen this in so long." And Don Johnson is Don Johnson. I love John Johnson. John Johnson. And of course Mickey Rourke on top of that. It's like, what's not to love?
No, there's a lot
with this movie.
There's a lot to love. Although people don't hold this in a very high regard. It's a crazy thing.
And that's fine because, it holds a special place in my heart.
Oh yeah. I remember watching this movie so many times when I was younger because we had satellite at my house, if you remember, and it was on HBO or. He was the
cool kid.
Yeah, all the time. So we'll open up with the movie. Mickey Rourke is the first character we're introduced to, and that's when I was like, "Oh, it's Harley Davidson Marlboro Man," because we don't give it away what it is before we kind of pop it in. But as soon as I saw Mickey Rourke, I was like, "Yeah, I know what this is. And so Harley Davidson Marlboro Man is about Harley Davidson, played by Mickey Rourke, and the Marlboro Man, played by Don Johnson. And that's their names in the movie. They have real names, but we don't really get their real names. So Mickey Rourke, in the first basic scene in the movie, he's with this woman. There's some naked women in this.
That's and that's
there's a titty.
Yeah,
that's right. And he leaves this woman and goes on his motorcycle, which is a Harley Davidson, of course, to a gas station. And the gas station is getting robbed. And he just walks in. He realizes what's going on as soon as he walks in. He just walks in like nothing's going on, and he just takes out the robbers, the armed robbers, and he gets this gun, which is a Desert Eagle, pistol, which is
love it,
a fantastic looking gun. You don't see them very often, but it was a very big gun in the 90s, like a very popular gun to see in the 90s in these kind of movies. So he gets that gun, and he gets back on the road, and he ultimately meets up with Don Johnson's character, the Marlboro Man. And where did they meet? I can't remember exactly where they meet, ultimately.
I think they met back at, it was a bar. They were playing, Johnson was playing pool.
That's right. He was playing pool with the Native American guy, who was...
he was in... I keep wanting to say Renegade.
He was in Renegade.
I keep wanting to say
Lorenzo
Walker,
Lamas.
Texas Ranger, but it was Renegade. Yeah.
So he meets up with him, and they kind of... Tom Sizemore, not Michael Madsen. Tom Sizemore. Is who
yeah.
God, I confuse those two all the time.
Yeah.
It's Tom Sizemore, who passed away. God, we just killed Michael Madsen.
Oh, my God. Hey, Bill Duke lives on.
Bill Duke lives on. And that's a joke you might get or you might not get.
And as a joke, I saw something on the internet, and I came into his house. I think it was right after this movie, not too long ago. I was like, "Oh man, Jerry West died." It's not true.
Jerry West is alive.
So we killed Jerry West. We killed Michael Madsen.
And Bill Duke.
And Bill Duke is still kicking.
They're all around. But Tom Sizemore has passed away, and he is in this movie. I was mistaken. I get those two confused quite a bit. But so they meet up, and he's in a bar, and Don Johnson is playing pool, and he's kind of scamming the pool hall in regards to beating this guy, and so they make a big bet, and ultimately this Native American guy can't pay the bet because he didn't expect to lose. He thought he was going to win, and so there's a bar fight that breaks out, and it's great.
Breaks out the old switchblade from the
butterfly knife. The butterfly knife. Yeah. So good. So they're getting a little fight, and Marlboro Man's like, hey, you just going to stand there? And Harley just kind of lets it play out before he gets involved, which is just great. It's terrific stuff. And so they get together, and they're going to ride together to go see some old friends at a bar.
Gas prices are pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same gas prices.
Back then, in California.
A gallon in California, just pretty close. Probably a little bit more than that even right now. But so Harley and Marlboro, they end up riding together. Harley rides, of course, Harley Davidson, like I said, but Marlboro's got this crappy old Honda bike that just barely runs. So they get to this bar they're going to, and it's in Burbank, California, like a huge metropolis in LA, part of LA, and Harley just pulls out the gun at the bar and just shoots the bike, tries to shoot at the bike, and just completely misses the bike. He's a terrible shot, pretty clearly, and Don Johnson, he's like, oh, yeah, it's your gun. I got you this for your birthday.
Yeah.
The free gun he got from the robbers is what he's giving to him, that Desert Eagle. And so Don Johnson shoots up the bike himself, and they go into the bar. Well, the bar is a bar in Burbank. It's a tiny little bar in between all these like skyscrapers and stuff. And this is kind of like where they grew up, I guess, together. They were like orphans or whatever, or their parents weren't around. And the bar owner is this older black gentleman. I don't remember his name, but he's kind of like
you've seen him in a lot.
Seen him, yeah. He's an older guy, but he's kind of like their father figure, and he explains to them that the men from the bank are going to take the bar unless they can come up with this amount of money pretty quickly, or he's going to lose the bar. And they're like, well, we can't let that happen. We're also introduced to Giancarlo Esposito as like another one of the kids that grew up in this bar. Essentially,
he's so young. He's young Giancarlo. I mean, this is after Spike Lee, his movie and Spike.
Do the Right Thing.
Do the Right Thing. Yeah. So, but he's still like that same age.
Yeah.
It's just young. Like, oh my gosh.
Gus Fring is
he's so young.
He's gonna go found some chicken restaurants. And some meth. So. But
he didn't make it out.
He didn't make it out of this movie, unfortunately. Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
spoiler.
Be spoilers. Yeah.
We also meet Vanessa Williams' character, who is a singer who Harley has a past with pretty clearly. And we meet Big John Studd. If you don't know who Big John Studd is, look him up. He's a former wrestler.
Oh, man.
Big dude. Gigantic dude. Who is Vanessa Williams' husband at this point. And is extremely mad at Harley because Harley had an affair with his wife. He married her now.
Some of the best scenes. We're in that bar.
Oh yeah.
Just all these guys going back and forth, and they sold it like they'd known each other for a long time. Like, hey, this is our bar. This is hey, we're a family here.
Right. We also meet the deaf Mexican guy who talk is signing and stuff like that. He's not long for the movie either. If I recall, he gets killed pretty early in the movie. So. Big John Studd and Harley have a fight. Harley loses the fight because he's got no chance against Big John Studd. But they ultimately make up, and he's like, you got to leave her alone. I married her. She's my woman now. And like Vanessa Williams is not too hot on seeing Harley either. So but Vanessa Williams, she's very tiny role.
Man.
She's in it. Like I feel like there's some cut scenes with her in this because like they show her, she's a big part of this conversation, then she's just gone for the rest of the movie pretty much. Big John Studd reappears in the movie.
Yeah, she does her little singing role. Yeah, which I mean, she was a big part of she had that career going on, right? And then she had like two scenes.
Yeah,
and after that,
she did much more in Eraser. Which you got to watch that sometime.
You know what? Stay tuned.
Yeah. There's also a sequel to it as well for some reason in the last year.
Oh, boy.
In any case, they decide that the best way to make the money to save this bar is to rob a armored truck that this bank that's trying to take the bar is running. So they put together this whole thing, and Big John Stud's like, no, I can't be part of this. But everybody else comes in to be part of it, and they go to rob this truck, and they do a pretty good job of it. They have a fake construction crew. Giancarlo Esposito makes them turn, and they rob the truck ultimately. And the two guys in the armored truck are like, you have no idea what you're doing here. Do you know who you're robbing? And they're like, yeah, we don't really care.
Yeah.
And so we're introduced. As they're robbing this truck and getting the stuff out of the back of it, we're introduced to the crew that protects these trucks. With Daniel Baldwin is one of them. He's like the main antagonist of this movie, really, ultimately behind Tom Sizemore. So they have a big firefight with these guys. Big John Stud ultimately ends up having to come in and save them.
They're all dressed like, Terminators.
Yeah, Matrix. They are. They're wearing full black suits that are bulletproof.
Black. So
bulletproof. They managed to.
It was almost like the Matrix, type.
Yeah, but we get the
dress.
We get the scene where Harley throws a gun at somebody, and he brings up one of my favorite lines in all the movies. It's like, "Guns are meant to be shot, Harley, not thrown." That's what Marlboro Man says.
Yes.
So they managed to beat off. Sorry. They managed to beat these.
No, enlighten us on that.
That's a different movie. Sorry.
We might review that tonight.
Yeah. So they managed to beat the guys that are coming to try to stop them, because Big John Stud comes in and saves the day by laying down his bike and setting it on fire and making an explosion for them to get their getaway. They get away and they go off to a plane graveyard, which is a cool place to have a movie scene.
Yeah.
It's a very cool place. And they open up the bags to discover that they didn't get money, they got meth, essentially, is what it is. I don't know what they refer to it as meth. I think they say it's crystal meth, which is the name back then for what it was, But it's in these little blue blocks, and that's all there is. So they kind of figure out that this bank is running drugs in addition to being a bank. So they work out a way to make a deal with the bank head to give this drugs back to him in exchange for the money, but that doesn't go through, and they end up attacking the same black trench coat guys come back, attack the bar. They kill the old man. They kill Giancarlo Esposito. And Harley and Marlboro manage to make it out. Big John Stud, does he make it out then? Or does he get killed?
He makes it out.
He makes it out then. Yeah. He dies later.
Yeah.
But they manage to make it out and get away. And then they are trying to deal with the fallout from this. I mean, there's no reason to save the bank anymore. And there's this scene where they ask for this amount of money, and they want $1 extra because they made a bet that it goes down, and then they give them a silver dollar, and ends up the silver dollar has a tracker in it, and that's how they found out where the money went and how they attacked it. So there was an exchange between the drugs and the money.
Yeah, it was pretty well done how they set that in motion.
Yeah, it's like, why the extra dollar?
It's just it's not. I mean, it is a fun, dumb, buddy.
Oh, it's super dumb.
Buddy, shoot 'em up movie, but
hey, we got a comment on something. So bet you never heard of the movie Arctic Dogs. It's box office from November. Nope, I can't say I've heard of that movie or seen that movie, but thanks for watching.
Renner, Clint.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised I haven't seen it.
Houston, Franco.
Yeah.
Glass and Baldwin. All right.
Alec Baldwin.
Alec.
Watch out on set with guns for him, right?
Yeah. Gotta wait for that one to come out.
Hey, maybe we'll check it out. Definitely follow us, Ultimate Sonic Fan 2023. I don't know if we've ever
Thanks
had
for
you
that.
Before.
Yeah, we might have tried
We always look. I like John. I like everybody involved except maybe James Franco. I'm not a big fan of Franco, I'll be honest. His brother's okay.
Hey, we'll try anything.
Yeah, we'll try anything.
Yeah. Maybe next week we'll review that one.
Yeah. We also have a subplot of Harley Davidson meeting with, or Don Johnson has an ex-wife, essentially, that he's still in love with, and she's clearly still in love with him. That's how he gets his new motorcycle in the middle of all this. Hey, thanks for following. We appreciate it.
All right,
we'll definitely check out that movie. I'm not lying. We keep an eye out on us. We're going to check out that movie.
You know what? Friday night seems like
Arctic Dogs.
We already got one picked out.
Yeah. It made almost $10 million out of a $50 million budget.
I like it.
Yeah. Cast was great, but so Harley and Marlboro meet this woman, and she Marvel ends up stealing her husband's bike because he just wants to get her back. She's clearly still in love with him. He's in love with her.
Oh yeah.
He's more like a road dog. He has to be out on the road. He's not gonna hang out and all that. So, but anyway, that's kind of a side plot. It doesn't really ultimately even affect the rest of the story. It's just one of those things they did in '90s movies to have a sex scene at some point, probably. Yeah. So.
Gotta miss the 90s.
Yeah, the 90s. Well, then again, I watched some of the 90s movies.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
I don't miss the 90s all that much.
I miss the 80s from what I remember. The latter half of the 80s and the 90s.
Nice. Is this an animated film, Ultimate Sonic fan? That's what it seems to be. Yeah, it seems to be an animated film. I haven't seen it, though.
All right, I'm down.
But thanks for the info.
I like it.
So... ultimately, they kill off all the people they love, so Harley and Marlboro are going to get... animated. Yep, thought so. They're going to get some revenge on these guys and take them out. And, oh yeah, there's the duct tape boot. I forget.
There it is.
Marlboro doesn't spend money on anything.
Yeah.
That's why he had a crappy bike, crappy boots. He's duct taping his boots.
Yeah.
It's all...
because I was like, this guy reminds me of my brother. Because he used to duct tape his shoes.
Duct tape his shoes, yeah, that's right.
He was so cheap, he'd get a hole in his sneakers. Or... tennis shoes. I don't know. What do we call them now?
I call them shoes.
But yeah, he would actually duct tape his shoes so he could make them last longer.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey.
I remember that from this.
I was buying a new shoe, to be honest. Yeah. One shoe though, only one. I only buy one at a time.
Oh man.
So they decide they have to put an end to this after all their friends are killed, essentially. And we get the final scene in the airplane graveyard yet again, which is great. They set them up to come find them because they leave that coin there because they at that point have figured out that the coin is kind of like the tracking device of it, and so they get them to come out there. Daniel Baldwin's character, the main bad guy, really, other than Tom Sizemore, get him to come out there to have a shootout. Don Johnson sits there, puts a big chew in his lip.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, that's great. You never see anybody chewing in movies.
No, not anymore.
Weird. You never see that in movies. And he pulls out the Kodiak or Grizzly or whatever he has, puts a big chew in for the shootout.
I think that was a real one, too.
Yeah, he probably did. I can see Don Johnson being a dipper.
Yep.
So,
because, he's kind of a badass. Hey. I love Don Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great. Don Johnson is great.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've always loved him. Eastbound and Down.
Miami Vice.
Miami Vice. This movie.
Nash Bridges, which I've never watched a single episode.
No, I've never. I haven't either. Yeah. Hey, maybe we'll watch Nash Bridges.
Yeah, that's a lot of watching a movie, man. You watch something 34 times. That's a lot of watching a movie. I don't know if I've seen any movie 34 times.
Oh.
Yeah. So
you check out that movie though.
Yeah,
animated.
Have to. So they do
Friday
win
night.
The shootout, of course, and they take out the bad guys in there, and ultimately they go back to the bank to deal with Tom Sizemore's character, and they go right up to see him, and they pretty much just take him out and knock him out the window. We get the little Die Hard type thing where he falls out the skyscraper.
Little Die Hard, not as bad as RoboCop.
No,
it was more Die Hard. Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely.
Because it was more like this.
And there's Arnold Schwarzenegger's body double.
Yeah, that's right.
Whatever his name is, Svensson or something like that. Yeah. Tia Carrere as the bad guy's secretary as well.
Yeah. I mean, this movie is just full of gems.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
It's absolutely full of gems. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yep, 9 is a well-known movie, for sure. Elijah Wood plays the main character in 9. I remember that movie, yeah. So that's kind of the end. They take them out, and they end up just kind of going on their way, doing what they're doing again. We never get a sequel. Never get anything else in this movie, but, man, this is a fun movie.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
It is a ton of fun. Great movie. Just
If you want to just dive into a brainless, fun movie... this is one. Like, if you want action, some good comedy. There's a lot of good comedy throughout this. Check this movie out.
Check it out for sure.
Other than that, I don't know what else I can say about it.
There's not much else to say about this. It's a standard early 90s action film. It has a lot of 80s left along.
Yeah, hey, check out this movie. Have you ever seen this one?
You may be younger, though.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
You watch this on Friday, and we'll watch your movie on Friday.
That's right. Yeah, get some Tom Sizemore in your life.
And then we'll get on a podcast together, and we'll talk about.
That's right. So that's the end of this one. It's a great movie. I really enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what I rated. I do ratings in Letterboxd. If anybody has Letterboxd, you can follow me on Letterboxd.
Out of 5, it's probably a 6.
A 7.8. Yeah. So I'm looking at my Letterboxd just to see what I rated this. I'm sure it wasn't a super high rating because it's not like, Oscar worthy or anything. Yeah. So I had to look it up. That's what I thought I rated it.
No, it's probably one of those movies that, probably got like a 6 out of 10 back in the day, 7 out of 10 at the highest. Yeah. So
it's probably about right where I am at a 3.5 is
3.5. Yeah, I think so.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah,
it's fun.
3.5. I'm good at 3.5 as well.
It's not going to win any awards, but man, is it a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's a lot of nostalgia for us as well. I don't think that helps to make us like it any less. We're definitely in on the nostalgia train.
Yeah, we're children of the 90s.
Yeah,
so
both born in the early 80s. Right at the age for this movie.
So this is prime time for us.
Yeah.
So
prime 90s movie.
Loved it.
All right, so 3.5. That's it for Harley Davidson Marlboro Man. We're going to jump right back into another movie in just a second. I got to take a quick break.
Let's do it.
All right, we're back. And this is a review of Shark Exorcist, the 2015 super low-budget film from Donald Farmer, a director who is not well-known, nor should he be well-known ever in the history of movies. Shark Exorcist is a ultra-low-budget film filmed in the state of Tennessee in a place called Paris Landing, Tennessee, which is close to Kentucky Lake. It's on Kentucky Lake, essentially, a place where I spent a significant part of my childhood because my dad was a big fisherman and loved going to Kentucky Lake. So Shark Exorcist, I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't know what this movie's about. It's not really about anything. It's not really good. It's not really worth watching. Do you have any thoughts to start out before I try to explain the minor plot that this film has?
If you want to watch a movie and have a good laugh and make fun of, this is it.
Oh, this is definitely it.
We had a lot of fun with this movie. Yeah. You know,
it's terrible.
Yeah, they made a movie to make a movie.
Yeah, they made a movie to make a movie.
And I think this is around the time that Sharknado was pretty popular. So they're trying to get, they're trying to get in there and get their little, popularity. But it was fun.
Yeah.
It's not well done.
I don't even know if it's fun.
It is. We had our good jokes. We had a good time watching it. I think
passed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. It's a movie to get a little tipsy and watch and have some fun with.
Have some beers, watch it.
Most definitely.
Make some jokes, and you'll have a good time.
If you're of age.
Yeah. If you're of age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Shark Exorcist starts out with a evil nun. What we would consider, I guess, a Satanist nun, going to the shore of a lake, and there's a shark in the lake for some reason. Sharks don't live in freshwater in Kentucky Lake, but apparently they do in the Shark Exorcist world. And she pulls the soul of the devil into a shark, essentially. And the shark is I
can't believe you remember all this.
That's all I remember. I'll talk about the rest of what I remember, and it's not much. So
impressive.
The shark is CGI, and it looks like basically they found the worst CGI shark they could have and decorated it with some red eyes and things like that to make a devil shark. And the devil shark proceeds to attack people and possess people. There is a lot of scantily clad ladies are basically our protagonist / a possessed by shark person, and it's just I don't really need to go into this that much. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
People get attacked by the shark. One girl is the shark apparently, or something like that. But it just goes in, and you get a few shark attacks. You get a reporter for not a reporter. It's like a ghost show or something. They find ghosts and demons and things like that. They're
it's like ghost hunters, but they're going after. They know about this myth of a shark.
Yeah, this evil shark.
Evil shark.
After. Yeah, and you have some shark attacks in there, which are terrible. They're not shark attacks. You don't see a shark attack anybody. You see people flailing around the water.
Yeah, Scott. I think Scott Stapp is in it from Creed.
He's totally in it. Yeah. Looks exactly like him.
Exactly that guy.
Coked out Scott Stapp.
Yeah.
So, I assume what happened here is the director had some women from a strip club that he hung out with a lot, and he convinced them to come be in his movie. He threw $5,000 at the movie and made this movie to just, I don't know. There's no benefit. He's probably made money off of it because people are watching it for how terrible it is.
Yeah, I mean, we watched it.
We didn't pay for it.
We didn't pay for it?
Mm-mm. No, it was on Tubi. No. I'm certain it was Tubi. I didn't pay $2 for this. You can pay $2.
Sure they're getting paid for views.
Yeah, so. You can get paid $2 on Amazon to watch this, but go ahead and find a way to free to watch this. It's probably on YouTube completely for free. I wouldn't doubt that it's on YouTube for free. But essentially, it's just a string of girls talking to each other about things, and it does not pass that test. What is it? The Bechdel test, where two women. What do they say? Two women. The rule for the Bechdel test is two women talking in a movie where they don't talk about a man.
Right.
It does not pass that test.
No.
I'm pretty sure every scene they're talking about men and relationships and things like that in it. But we have the possessed girl who's possessed by the shark. We have her friends, and we have them just randomly laying out in just park areas. Like it's not a beach. It's just like a random grass hill that you lay out on next to the lake. And that's kind of how Kentucky Lake is. If you've ever been there, it's just there's not really many beaches.
Yeah, you don't go there. You don't go there to sunbathe.
Yeah, you get out on the water on a pontoon or something.
You got a pontoon, a boat, and you go out. You have a good time on the water.
Yeah,
not at the bank. Yeah, there's snakes. Yeah, snakes are probably more dangerous than the shark.
Oh yeah, there's no sharks.
Yeah,
there's no sharks. It's a lake, for God's sakes. There are snakes.
Wait,
that's it.
I don't know, man.
You think they swim up and got into the Tennessee River?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a bull shark.
It could
with
be.
Red eyes,
but it's clearly just a fake shark.
Yeah,
it's bad CG. But like every time they have the shark going to attack somebody, you get the same CG shark. It's swimming the exact same shot every time.
In deep ocean water.
Yeah, it's not murky.
Not murky. It's just a deep ocean shot of this shark.
Of a CG shark.
Yeah.
It's absolutely god-awful. It's absolutely terrible. The movie's terrible.
It's doing this the whole time.
Every time. Just one little shot and done. And then we have the attack, which doesn't show the shark at all, like I said. So the shark kills a number of people, and then we get the exorcism. I guess there's a priest that comes in at some point in the movie. I don't really remember him all that well because I wasn't watching that close, but they have like the shark exorcism at the end. And there's like this big thing in the sky, and the shark's being exorcised out of the girl and out of the water. And then the movie ends, and that's kind of it for the movie. And that's the plot. There's no plot.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, don't check it out.
You're going to love it.
You're going to hate it.
Yes. We checked it out.
So, we loved it, and we hated it. It was terrible, and it was fun.
This is one of those movies where we went into it, and we were like, we're going to drink some beers, have some fun with it, and just be dumb.
Yeah, and we were.
Yeah.
We should have been live on Twitch watching that movie. We really should have.
You're
we
right.
should have done that live on Twitch.
Next time
we watch a shitty shark movie, anything from Donald Farmer, because he's done more movies. I know there's more out there than Donald Farmer, and they take place at Kentucky Lake as well.
Oh, man.
I'm sure
okay.
they do.
Stay tuned for the Donald Farmer.
I don't want to push anybody to go watch another channel, but RLM, Red Letter Media, also looked at this movie, so you can go check out their views on this movie. Donald Farmer is no Len Kabaczynski, however.
Yeah. So. Yeah, RLM's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good stuff on this. So I'm not going to go into any more about this. We're going to call this a review. We're going to do a quick rating of Shark Exorcist. So I'm going to let you go first because I know where I'm at on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 5.
Out of 5?
Out of 100.
Out of 100. That's pretty low. That's like a point. That's not even as low as I'm doing a half star because it's not worth watching, but it has to have some rating.
There is a worth to it, though.
There's worth to it. I'm not going to say it's completely not worth watching. You can
make fun of it. Have fun. I think that's why it was made. I hope that's why it was made.
I think it was made for somebody to pull tax fraud or something.
Maybe. Yeah. But we took it as fun. And you should, too.
It's more fun than it's supposed to be. Yeah. Because I think it's supposed to be taken seriously, and it's not serious at all. It's absolutely terrible.
No.
0.5. It's not a vinegar movie, so we don't even do a vinegar scale on it. But yeah, so 0.5 and a 5 out of 100, which is a what?
Probably got some girls from UT Martin.
Yeah. UT Martin.
It used to be the #1 party school in the nation.
Yeah.
Back a while, not too long ago. So yeah, right around that same area.
So yeah, that's it for Shark Exorcist. I'm not gonna say much else about that. I don't even know why we reviewed it, but that's it. That's a nice 10 minutes on Shark
Exorcist. It's fun.
Enjoy that. Yep. Watch it. Don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
Matter. Don't watch it.
Watch it.
Unless you
don't watch it. Don't watch it.
Yeah, no,
watch it.
Yeah, definitely
don't watch it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Yeah, definitely don't watch it and watch it at the same time.
Yeah. Hate watch it.
Oh,
yeah. It's a hate watch. All right.
Cheers.
On to the next review in just a couple minutes.
Ooh. Nice. That's the best